season replays, fantasy drafts, ultimate creative leagues, and what if tournament. It's Coffee Cup Games with the coach, DKM. Hey, this is Coach DK with Coffee Cup Games. Hope you guys are having a good one. We are continuing in our 1976 playoff series. We started in the championship series of both the American and the National League. In the American League, New York Yankees are currently leading the series 2-1, just like it was in 1976. But originally in 1976, the series went to 5 games, and we are hoping, as managing the New York Yankees, that we can wrap this one up in Game 4. But in the National League, the series is tied 1 game apiece. Originally in 1976, Cincinnati swept Philadelphia 3-0. But in our replay, it is currently tied 1-1. We will be managing the home team, the Cincinnati Reds, hoping to win Games 3 and 4 and possibly Games 5 if needed, and advance Cincinnati back to the World Series and hoping that they will once again win the 1976 World Series. And here's the starting lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies, which is going to be the exact same starting lineup that they had originally in 1976 for Game 3. Leading off will be Cash, the second baseman. Maddox, the center fielder, will be batting second. Mike Schmidt, the third baseman, will be batting third. Lazinski, the left fielder, will be batting fourth. Dick Allen, the first baseman, will be batting fifth. Johnstone, the right fielder, will be batting sixth. Boone, the catcher, will be batting 7th. Boa, the shortstop, will be batting 8th. And on the mound will be Jim Kaat. The left-hander went 12-14 with a 3.48 ERA. And just like we did with Philadelphia, Cincinnati will have the exact same starting lineup as they did in 1976 for Game 3. Leading off will be the third baseman, Pete Rose. Griffey, the right fielder, will be batting second. Morgan will be playing second but batting third. Perez, the first baseman, will be batting fourth. Foster, the left fielder, will be batting fifth. Johnny Bench will be catching and batting 6th. Concepcion will be batting 7th and playing shortstop. And Geronimo, the center fielder, will be batting 8th. And on the mound will be Gary Nolan. The right-hander went 15-9 with a 3.46 ERA. So now let's get ready to replay Game 3 from the 1976 National League Championship Series, which was one of the all-time greatest games in the NLCS. But before we do, going to ask you guys, do me a quick favor. I need you to go down below, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you have any questions, comments, or snide remarks, leave them in the comment section down below. And now, let's jump into Game 3 of the NLCS from 1976 between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds. And here we are in Game 3 between Cincinnati and Philadelphia. Philadelphia is obviously up first as they are the away team. It is a cold, bad night at Riverfront Stadium, so means home runs will be 1-6 for both lefties and righties, and any ballpark splits for singles will be right-handers will get a 1-6. Left-handers, there is no shot. So here's Nolan on the mound going against Cash, the leadoff man. And the first pitch of the game, and it's going to be a 1-3 for a home run. It's going to be an 8, so we luckily escape that leadoff home run.
Yes, sir.
So now Gary Maddox is going to be up with 1 down. And here's the pitch. He's going to ground ball to Pete Rose at third, who's going to make the play. He had to show some defensive prowess there, and he does. So 2 down, and now Mike Schmidt is up, and he's going to draw a walk. So with 2 outs, he's on first base, and now Greg Lazinski's up. Lazinski is going to hit a ground ball to Concepcion at short. He's going to throw it to second for the fielder's choice, and that's going to end the inning. So we escape a possible leadoff home run. And now, bottom of the first, we're going to lead off with Pete Rose going against future Hall of Famer Jim Kaat. Kaat's going to throw the first pitch to Pete Rose, who's going to hit a pop-up to Dick Allen at first base for 1 down. And now Ken Griffey's up, and he's going to rip a ball, pull it into right field for a single. So he is going to be quickly on first. We're going to try to see if we can get a good lead and get a steal here. And not able to get a good lead, so we are not going to run with only a 35% chance. Joe Morgan is up. Morgan is going to draw a walk. So runners on first and second with our cleanup man, Tony Perez, coming up with 1 down. Runner in scoring position. Can we take advantage of it? He's going to hit a line ball right at Larry Bow at short. So that's going to be the 2nd out. And now here's Foster, and Foster needs a 1 to 9. Unfortunately, it's going to be a 17, but it is good enough for a single, so we have a chance to send Ken Griffey, who has 17 runner speed, the runner not being held, so it's 1 to 19. He's going to score easily. They're going to hit the cutoff man, and so we get our first run in the bottom of the first, and now Johnny Bench is up with runners on first and second. And he's going to draw a walk. So the bases are loaded with 2 down for Concepcion, who hit 291 back in 1976. We could use a hit here, and he's going to get a single into center field to Gary Maddox, who has a decent arm, but we have Foster, who has a pretty good legs. He has a 1 to 16 chance. We're going to send him. We're going to send the trailing runners. They're going to try to get the runner at home.
He's safe.
It is not going to be close as we get a 1 on the throw-in, so we just added 2 more runs. And now we got runners on second and third with Geronimo coming up. And Geronimo is going to be struck out to end the inning, leaving 2 runners stranded. But we jump up with quick 3 runs in the bottom of the first to lead 3-0. Top of the second, Dick Allen, the first baseman's up. He had 15 home runs back in 1976, and he's going to be struck out by Nolan. So a strikeout for him. And now Johnstone is up. Johnstone is going to hit a home run off the pitcher's card.
Dummy, yeah.
And so that is going to give Philadelphia the first runs. Nolan, who gave up 28 home runs back in 1976, one of the worst when it comes to home runs by pitchers. As you can see, that is the danger of having Gary Nolan on the mound. And now we have Bob Boone, the catcher. He's up, and he is going to hit a ground ball to Concepcion, who's an incredible defensive shortstop, and he's going to make the play as he needs to, and that's going to be the second out. And now Larry Bow is up, and he's going to hit a fly ball to center field to Geronimo, who's got incredible range. He's going to be able to get there, and he does with a highlight film play by Cesar Geronimo to end the inning. But Philadelphia does get a run in the top of the second to close the gap 3-1. And now we go bottom of the second. Our pitcher, Gary Nolan's up. And it's not looking good as he's going to get a strikeout. The second strikeout for Jim Cott. And now Pete Rose, our leadoff man, is up. He is 0 for 1, and he's going to hit a line ball, and that's going to be an out. So we have now 2 down, and now Ken Griffey is up. And Griffey's going to hit a ball back to the pitcher, who's going to have to make a play. He does, and that's going to end the inning for us. Top of the third, Nolan on the mound going against his counterpart, Jim Cott. So hoping to get an easy out here. But no, it's going to be a 1 to 6 chance, and he rolls a 4 to get a single.
Disappointed!
So a leadoff hit by the pitcher to start off the top of the third, and now they got Cash, their leadoff man, who hit 284. He flew out earlier in the first, and he's going to rip a single to Geronimo. Cott, obviously the pitcher's not going to try to test that, so he's going to be on second. So runners on first and second with no outs. This is looking dangerous as Gary Maddox is up, who hit 330, led the team with his average. He also added in 6 home runs, not much of a power guy here. But with Gary Nolan on the mound, things can happen when it comes to power. And Maddox is going to hit a line ball straight at Pete Rose, so that's going to be the first out. And now Mike Schmidt is up. He hit 262 with 38 home runs in 1976. This is dangerous, and we're going to throw, and it's going to be another walk.
Bruh.
Mike Schmidt gets on to first, loads the bases up for Greg Lazinski, who hit 21 home runs, hit over 300. And so here's Lazinski. Here's the pitch, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Concepcion, who's going to throw it to Morgan, and then over to Perez for an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play with the bases loaded. Oh, yeah! That was timely, to say the least. And now we go into the bottom of the third with Joe Morgan. He walked earlier in the first inning, and he's going to rip a single into right field to Johnstone, so he's going to be on first with a leadoff single, and we're going to try to see if he can steal. He does not get a good lead. He has a 45% chance. We are not going to test that. And now Tony Perez is up, who lined out earlier in the first. And he's going to hit a ground ball to Larry Boa, who unfortunately for us is very good. He's going to get the force out at second, but Perez is going to get there to first. So they're not able to turn the double play. So one down, and now Foster's up, who had an RBI single in the first inning. And he's going to get another single as he hits this one to Maddox. But Maddox with a very good arm. Perez, not a very fast guy. So we're going to keep him at second. So runners on first and second. And now Johnny Bench, the Hall of Fame catcher, is up. He walked in the first. And with runners on first and second, one down, here's Johnny Bench. And he's going to hit a fly ball to Lazinski in left field. And that's going to make two down. And now Concepcion's up. He had a 2 RBI single back in the first inning. He's up. A chance to add some more runs, and he's going to pull the ball into left field for Lazinski to make the second straight out on a routine fly ball. So that's going to end the third inning as Philadelphia has 1 run on 3 hits, has not committed error, and Cincinnati has 3 runs on 5 hits and also has not committed error. So going into the top of the fourth, it is 3-1. Cincinnati leads. Top of the fourth, Dick Allen is up. Dick Allen is going to lead off with a ground ball right at Concepcion for a routine ground out. And that's going to be one down. And now Johnstone's up, who had a home run earlier. He's going to hit a ground ball to Perez at first, and that's going to be the second out. And now Bob Boone is up, and he is going to need a 1-18 again on the pitcher's card, and it's going to be a 9. So Nolan gives up his second home run in the game on his card. The challenge with Nolan, even though I believe he went 15-9, had a 3.45 ERA, he has given up 28 home runs during the regular season in 1976, and we are seeing the negative of that. And now Larry Boa, the shortstop, is up with 2 down, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Perez for the third out. But Philadelphia has closed the gap and now only trail 3-2 with their second home run in the game. Bottom of the fourth, Geronimo is up, our number 8 hitter, and he is going to need a 1-3 for a triple, but he's going to get a 6, but it is good enough for a single. So he is on base safely. We're going to try to see if we can get a lead. He cannot. Nolan is up, and we are going to go ahead and let him bunt. And he bunts it well. Schmidt charges, gets the easy out at first, and now Geronimo is on second with 1 down. And Pete Rose, who is 0 for 2, is yet to get the ball out of the infield, is coming up. He hit 323 in 1976, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Schmidt, which is going to be an easy out. Geronimo has to stay at second, and so that's going to be the second out. Now Griffey's up, who has a single in the first. He's 1 for 2, and he's going to get another single. He's going to hit it to Lazinski in left field, who has a +0 arm. Geronimo, with good speed, is going to go ahead and score as they're going to hit the cutoff man. And now we doubled our lead and got it back to 2 runs, and now lead 4-2 with 2 outs. And Morgan is up. Morgan, who's 1 for 1, is going to get another single. So he's 2 for 2, been on base all 3 times as he had a walk earlier. So runners on first and second for Tony Perez, who lined out and hit a ground out in the third. He needs a hit here, and he's going to unfortunately hit a line ball straight at Cash at second base to end the inning. But we do add another run to increase our lead to 2, and now lead 4-2 after 4. Top of the fifth, Jim Cott is up. He got a single earlier in the third inning, and now he's going to be up, and he's going to hit a fly ball into center field. Geronimo, great defender, doesn't have to do much to make that play, and that's going to be 1 down. And now Cash is up, who's 1 for 2 in this game. He's going to hit a high, towering fly ball. Concepcion slides on over, waves everyone off, and takes that one in for the second out. Now Gary Maddox, who's 0 for 2, is up, and he is going to hit a line drive straight at Pete Rose for a quick 1-2-3 inning. And now we go bottom of the fifth. Foster, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles, is up. He's going to hit a ground ball to Boa. He has to make a play. Boa, with a great dive on his left-hand side, hops up and throws it and makes the out. That is going to be 1 down with an incredible defensive play by Larry Boa. Now Johnny Bench is up. He's walked and has flown out, and he's going to be struck out. So the third strikeout for Jim Cott, as they're now 2 down and Concepcion's up. He's 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs, and he's going to be struck out. So back-to-back strikeouts by Jim Cott to end the 5th inning with a 1-2-3 inning, both for Philadelphia and for Cincinnati, and it's 4-2 after 5. Top of the 6th, the heart of the lineup for Philadelphia as they got their 3, 4, and 5 hitters with Schmidt, Lazinski, and Allen coming up to bat. Mike Schmidt has not gotten a hit, has not gotten out. He's been walked twice as he is 0 for 2 in this one. And he needs a 1 to 15. It's going. This one might get out of here, but no, it's going to hit off the top of the wall. It's going to be good enough for Mike Schmidt to get a double. He needed a 1 to 15, and he rolled an 18. So lucky for us, that almost was the 3rd home run given up by Nolan. But Schmidt is on second with a leadoff double, and now Lazinski is up. Lazinski also has got power. He had 21 home runs, hit 304 and 76, and he's going to be struck out. A timely strikeout right there for Nolan, as that's going to give us 1 out. And now Dick Allen's up, who had 15 home runs at 268, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Pete Rose, who's just an average defender, but he is able to make the play as he needed to get the out at first. Schmidt needs to hold, and now Johnstone is up. Johnstone, the right fielder, hit 318 with 5 home runs. He had a home run earlier in this game in the 2nd inning with a solo shot off the pitcher's card, and he's going to draw a walk. And now that's going to bring up Bob Boone, who also had a home run. His came in the 4th inning. And he's 1 for 2, and now he's going to hit a fly ball to center field. Geronimo's going to have to make a play. This one seems to be easily taken in by Geronimo for the 3rd out, but after Schmidt almost homering to lead off the inning, we escape with a strikeout, a couple of outs, a walk, but needless to say, they do not add any runs, and we go into the bottom of the 6th, and now Geronimo is going to lead us off, our number 8 hitter, and he's going to be struck out. The 5th strikeout for Jim Cott, and now Nolan is up, and Nolan's going to hit a ground ball to Cash a second. That's going to be 2 down, and now Pete Rose is up, and he's going to finally get one out of the infield. But unfortunately, this one's going to be straight at Gary Maddox, the center fielder, and that's going to end the inning for a quick 1, 2, 3 innings. So after 6, Philadelphia has 2 runs on 5 hits, is yet to commit an error. And Cincinnati has 4 runs on 8 hits and also has not committed an error. So after 6, it is 4-2, Cincinnati still leading. And we are now entering the top of the 7th. Larry Boa is up, the number 8 hitter. He is 0 for 2 today. He only hit 248, but he's in there because of his defense, and he's going to hit a ground ball right to Morgan, so that's going to be an out. 1 down, and now Jim Cott is up, and they are going to bring in a pinch hitter as they are trailing by 2, getting these bottom 3rd of the game, and Harmon is going to come up, and he hit 295. Back in 1976, he only had 61 at-bats. He didn't have any home runs, but they're hoping that he's able to get something here. And he does, as he's going to get a single into dead center field right over the infield. And that's going to put a runner on base with now Cash, who's 1 for 3, coming up. And Cash is going to hit a pop-up. Pete Rose is over there, and he's able to bring that one in easily. And so that is going to be 2 down. And now Maddox is up. He's 0 for 3. He's going to pull the ball into left field. Foster able to make a routine flyout, and that's going to end the inning. And so we now go into the bottom of the 6th. Ken Griffey is up. He is our number 2 hitter. He hit 336 with 6 home runs. He's 2 for 3 today with 2 singles, but this one he's going to hit a huge towering pop-up. Larry Boa able to make the play there, and that's going to be 1 down. And now Morgan's up, who's 2 for 2, and he's going to hit a pop-up also to Larry Boa. This one not quite as high as the last one, but that will still be an out, so that's 2 down. And now here's Tony Perez, who's 0 for 3, but he's going to rip one. This one's got some legs, and it's going, and it's going, and it is gone.
Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party.
Tony Perez hits a solo shot with 2 down in the bottom of the 7th into left center field. That is going to be huge, as that gives us a little bit more comfort in our lead. And we now lead 5-2 with 2 down, and now Foster's up, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Cash. Unfortunately, Cash has to make a play, and he does, as that's going to end the inning. But after a huge home run by Tony Perez, we now lead 5-2, and now Philadelphia's up with the heart of their order again. 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up. Here's Mike Schmidt, who almost homered in the 6th inning, hit it off the top of the wall. See if he can repeat, or if we can get him out. He's yet to get out. He has 2 walks as well. And he's going to get a single to lead off. So Mike Schmidt showing why he is one of the best players in the major leagues in 1976. And now Lazinski's up. He's grounded out and struck out. He's going to draw a walk. So runners on first and second. We are going to have to bring in a relief pitcher, as Nolan is well over his pitch count. And so let's see what we can do with runners on first and second. Who are we going to bring in going against Dick Allen? And we are going to bring in Pedro Borbin. Dick Allen hits really well against left-handers, so we need to make sure we brought in a right-hander. Borbin, unfortunately, does better against lefties, but he was our best option, in my opinion, as we're in the top of the 8th with no outs. Runners on first and second. Dick Allen is up, and here's
just a bit outside.
A wild pitch. And so that is going to put runners on second and third. Dick Allen, the tying run, we really do not want to put on base here. So we're going to go ahead and go after him, see what we can do here, and he's going to be struck out. Borbin with a huge strikeout to get one down here. Now Johnstone is up. He had 318, gets a lot of walks against right-handers. Borbin is much better against lefties, so we think this might balance itself out. We're trying to get one more out, maybe two, and then we obviously can go with our closer. So here's the pitch, and another strikeout by Borbin.
Give me 2 taps and a Ric Flair.
2 strikeouts in a row, and now Bob Boone is up. Boone, who hit 271, is up to bat. We're going to let Borbin, who had already got 2 strikeouts in this inning, go against Bob Boone. 1 for 3, he had a home run, and he's going to rip a single into center field. They are going to score 1 as Schmidt scores, but Luzinski, he is slow to say the least, and Geronimo has an incredible arm. So that puts the tying run on first base as they close the gap 5-3. And now Larry Bow, the leading run, is now up to bat. He's 0 for 3. He's going to be batting left-handed, but Borbin is up to pitch, and he is going to get Larry Bow to hit a line ball straight at Tony Perez. So that is going to end the inning. But, wow, that was dangerous as Philadelphia really decided to put some pressure on and almost was able to close the gap more. They got the tying run on first base, but unfortunately for them and fortunately for us, they were not able to take advantage. So we go into the bottom of the 8th, and now Johnny Bench is up. He is 0 for 2 with a walk, and he's going to get another walk, and so he's going to lead us off with a walk, a runner on first base right now, and here's Concepcion, who has 2 RBIs, and we are going to let him swing away, and he is going to pop up to Schmidt. That is going to be an easy out. Now Geronimo is up. He's 1 for 3. He has scored a run, and he's going to be struck out as Reed, who came in, is now got his first strikeout, 0 for 2, and now Borbin's up. We're going to bring in a pinch hitter. And we decided to bring in Dan Dreisen. He hit 247, but he is especially good against right-handers, so we think this might work out in our favor with 2 down. Bench on first, and now Dreisen is going to draw a walk, so he is able to do what we need him to get on base, get the inning going, and now Pete Rose is up, who is 0 for 4. And so here's the pitch, and he needs a 1-11, but it's going to be a 16. And so, unfortunately, that's only going to be good enough for a single, but Bench is able to score. Dreisen goes to third. Pete Rose with a huge single to get our lead back to 3 runs after Philadelphia added a run in the top of the 8th. And now Ken Griffey, who's 2 for 4, is up. He has 2 singles. Here's the pitch, and he's going to get his 3rd single of the game, and Dreisen is going to score. We're going to try to send Pete Rose all the way to third. Gary Maddox is going to throw it to third base to get Pete Rose, and it's going to be overthrown. And that's going to be an error. And so Pete Rose now is able to score, and Ken Griffey takes second base on the air. And so now we have now just increased our lead to 5 runs, our biggest lead of the game. And Morgan is up with a runner on second base. He's going to draw a walk. And so that is going to put him on first base. And now here's Tony Perez. And Tony Perez needs a 1-2. He's going to get a 14. So unfortunately, it's going to be a line out straight at Cash at second to end the inning. And so now we're going to go into the top of the 9th with a 5-run lead. But we need to bring in a new pitcher. as Dreisen had come in to pinch hit for our pitcher. And to come into the top of the 9th inning, we have Strat-O-Matic. He went 11-4, had a 4.70 ERA, does really good against right-handers. And they have a bunch of right-handers coming up after Reed, who we expect is going to be pinch hit for, and they do. They bring in McCarver, of course, a left-handed hitter, and so trying to take advantage of Alcala being weak against left-handers. And so now McCarver is going to be struck out. So a huge pitch by Alcala as he gets a strikeout against a left-handed batter who he struggles against. And now Cash is up. He's 1 for 4. He needs a 1-3. And just like he did in the top of the first inning, he's going to hit a long fly ball all the way back to the warning track. But it's going to be an 8. It will not have the distance. So that's going to be 2 down. And now Maddox, who's 0 for 4, is up with 2 down. He's going to hit a ground ball to Morgan, who is an incredible defender. And he has to make a play, and he will, to end the inning. We win this one 8-3, take game 3, and now have a 2-1 lead. After we got 8 runs on 11 hits, a huge 7th and 8th inning where we added 4 runs after Philadelphia had closed the gap, had runner on first and third, possibly with a chance to tie the game and the leading run at bat, but we were able to escape that one and come away with the dub. Game 3 is in the books. We ended up winning this one 8-3 and now have a 2-1 lead with Game 4 being back in Cincinnati. Unlike in 1976 where Cincinnati ended up sweeping the Philadelphia Phillies in 3 games, we are going to have a Game 4 in the National League Championship Series in our replay because we dropped Game 1 at Philadelphia. But I have confidence we still will win and advance to the World Series. Hope you guys are enjoying this replay of the 1976 playoffs. I'm enjoying doing it and hope you guys are enjoying watching it. So until next time, this is Coach DK. Have a good one. Bye.